His clothes are worn, but his eyes are bright and hopeful. He holds a small, empty tin can. They say the eyes are the window to the soul. But what happens when a soul, burdened by a past it cannot escape, looks into the eyes of the very life it shattered? What happens when forgiveness is offered before it's even asked for? People walk past the boy, some ignoring him, others tossing a coin into his can. The boy named Samuel offers a quiet "God bless you" to each person, his voice barely a whisper against the city's noise. On this corner, where the city's heart beats with a rhythm of indifference, sat Samuel. His world was small, confined to the few feet of pavement he called his own. Each day was a testament to his faith, a quiet prayer whispered into the uncaring wind. He wasn't just begging for coins. He was holding on to a hope taught to him by a father he barely remembered, a hope in the goodness of people and the grace of God. His father, a good man, had been taken from him, a victim of a senseless act of violence that had left a permanent scar on his young life. Yet, in Samuel's heart, there was no room for bitterness, only a simple, profound faith. A well-dressed man, David, in his late 40s, walks down the street. He's on his phone, looking important and distracted. He walks with a purpose, his expensive shoes clicking on the pavement. He doesn't notice Samuel at first. Then came David, a man wrapped in the successes of the world, his mind occupied by deadlines and profits. To him, the street was just a path from one important meeting to another. The faces in the crowd were a blur, a background to his own ascent. He was a man who had built his life on a foundation of forgetting, carefully constructing a new identity over a dark secret, a crime committed in the recklessness of his youth. He believed he had escaped his past, that the ghost of a man he had wronged was buried deep beneath the years of success and denial. As David passes Samuel's corner, he's about to toss a bill into the can without looking. But just as he does, Samuel looks up. Their eyes meet. David freezes, his hand hovering in the air. The sounds of the city fade away, replaced by a sudden deafening silence, punctuated by a faint, racing heartbeat. In that single fleeting moment, time stopped. For in the innocent eyes of this young boy, David saw a ghost. He saw the face of the man he had killed all those years ago. The same gentle eyes, the same shape of the face, a living echo of his greatest sin. The past he had buried so carefully erupted, clawing its way back into the light. The memory, sharp and brutal, flooded his mind. The argument, the anger, the flash of a weapon, the life draining from a man's eyes, Samuel's father's eyes. Flashback sequence. A heated argument in a dimly lit alley. A struggle. A man falling. The younger David, terrified, running away into the night. End flashback. His eyes wide with horror and disbelief. A single tear traces a path down his cheek. He stumbles back a step, dropping his phone. The weight of a decade of guilt crashed down upon him in a single crushing wave. The man he had become, the wealth he had amassed, the respect he commanded, it all turned to ash. He was no longer David, the successful businessman. He was a killer, standing before the son of the man whose life he had stolen. The sight of Samuel, so small, so vulnerable, holding out a hand for charity, was a judgment more severe than any court could deliver. It was the face of his consequence. Samuel, seeing the man's distress, looks concerned. He picks up the man's fallen phone and holds it out to him. He doesn't see a monster. He sees a person in pain. Samuel softly, "Sir, are you okay? You dropped this." David looks from the phone to Samuel's face, his body trembling. He falls to his knees before the boy, his composure completely shattered. He begins to sob, not loud, dramatic sobs, but the broken, silent sobs of a man whose soul is breaking open. And there, on the dirty pavement, repentance was born. It wasn't in a grand cathedral or a whispered confession. It was in the raw, humbling act of a powerful man kneeling before a powerless child. Samuel's simple act of kindness, an echo of the Christian charity his father had instilled in him, had pierced through layers of denial. He had offered grace without knowing the depth of the sin he was forgiving. In the face of pure, unblemished innocence, David's carefully constructed world crumbled, and for the first time in years, he felt the possibility of redemption. He saw not just the son of his victim, but a path to a different kind of life, one not built on forgetting, but on atoning. In the heart of the city, a killer met his judge, and his judge was a child who showed him mercy.